Why it's hard to lose weight. If you're one of the millions out there who still believe this paradigm to be true, I want to ask that for the next few minutes you suspend your disbelief when I tell you that the opposite is actually true. The real title of this video should be Why It's Not Hard to Lose Weight. You see, the human body was never meant to be obese. Obesity is a man-made construct. Nowhere else in nature will you find pathological obesity except in a human environment. And what I want to propose to you today is that the human body actually wants to get rid of excess fat as fast as possible. And it could be as simple as flicking a metabolic switch from fat storage to fat burning. And if you don't believe me, I want you to listen to the story of a very recent client. Her name is Christine. In a span of a little over a year, she has gained 20 pounds. And in 10 days in the program, she has lost almost as much weight. She has lost about 9 pounds in 10 days. And if this doesn't prove to you that the body is actually very good at shedding excess pounds, I don't know what will. Hopefully, if you will hear her testimony, you can listen to the rest of the video with a more open mind. And here is Christine and her story. Hi there, Mike Chan here of Lumiere's 360 Anti-Aging TV, and today I want to share with you the story of one of our recent enrollees for our 360 Anti-Aging Meal Prep. Her name is Miss Christine Santos. Christine, thank you so much for agreeing to be interviewed.
Yeah.
I just wanted you guys to hear firsthand from Christine what her experiences were when she started the meal prep. You were enrolled about 10 days ago, is that correct?
Yeah. 10 days ago.
10 days ago, and to date, she has lost a whopping 9 pounds. 9 pounds in 10 days, and
Yeah, it's amazing.
it is amazing. Can you tell our viewers what the experience has been like for you? Ano ba yung mga naramdaman mo? I mean, the gutom, the food, and stuff like that.
Well, the great part is I don't feel hungry like before, but I do have a little cravings because I like chocolates. However, on my 5th day, I can manage already. You know, I'm not even finishing the PM meals. Right. So, but the wonderful thing about these meals are like they're so yummy.
Yeah.
Super. Like it's saving me from all these cravings.
Right.
Super.
So one of the most important things is that people believe that in order to lose weight, you have to eat bland foods. Walang flavor, walang
I've been
ganyan.
doing that. Believe me, I've done so many programs already.
Right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but this one is the tastiest food that
thank you.
Yeah, really, no serious. Because I'm kind of picky when it comes to my food. That's why other programs and the meal plans doesn't work for me. It's because of the taste.
Right.
So
right.
Thank God I really found this tasty food that I can enjoy, and then it's hot, it's healthy.
You're also telling me that now you're able to wear clothes, right? Can you show them your legs?
I can show.
Yeah.
But I gained like more than 20 pounds for just a year, and I lost, to be exact, 9.5. The last time we weighed. But this is my 2nd week, and from large. Okay, be honest. I'll be honest. It's XL. From XL. Now I'm wearing all my medium clothes.
Christine, congratulations. You are...
No, thank you for your team. My God, this team are crazy
thank you.
good. Crazy
Thank
good.
you.
Yes,
Thank
you
you so
really
much.
have this awesome program that's sustainable. That's the best part is it's sustainable.
Yes.
It's not so hard to follow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Weight loss is actually easy.
It's natural.
It's natural. There you go.
Because you really understand how to do things. That's why I think I get it.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I understand.
I should.
Yeah.
I should understand.
Yeah, because that's why.
But
He's
thank
great.
you so much.
He's
right.
really great.
So, Christine, thank you so much for your
Thank you
testimony.
too. I'm
And
the one who should thank you.
I hope you guys find the time to visit us because it's going to be a life-changing experience.
Just 10 days. I have
In 10
20 more days.
20 more days.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shoot you again in 20 days, right? So just so that they can see, they might not even recognize you. It's not an exaggeration. So, right. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. When people come to me for help with their weight, it usually isn't when they are 2, 3, or 4 pounds overweight. People usually wait until they are 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight. And when I ask them, how come it took you so long to approach somebody for help? Why didn't you approach somebody like me sooner? And they always give me a variation of one of these 5 reasons why they delay or they don't want to start any weight loss program. They just think it's too hard. And what I want to do today in this video is to walk you through these 5 most common reasons and show you why they are all wrong. Now, I'm going to start with reason number 2 because reason number 1 is a doozy and I want to save that for last. But one of the top reasons why people are discouraged from trying to lose weight is because they believe that it takes too long. And why is that? It's actually intuitive. Because it takes a long time to gain weight, right? It's never the case where you would go to bed thin and wake up the following day 20 pounds overweight. It takes time. People usually will gain 2 or 3 pounds a month, but in 10 months, that's 10, 20, 30 pounds. And in 10 years, who knows how big they have become. But what most people believe is that if it takes too long to put on all that weight, then it must take equally long to remove it. And what I want to tell you right now is that that is not true. As you have seen with Christine, she has lost 9 pounds in 10 days. In her second week now, she has already dropped an additional 4 pounds. And in my last video, I shared with you the story of R, who lost 22 pounds in 30 days. 60 days into the program, he is already 31 pounds down. Now, a lot of people might say, oh, that's just water weight, that doesn't count. And what I want to tell you is this. To people who say that it's just water weight, I want to say to you, so what? The human body is 70% water. And if you have excess water, that leads to hypertension and high blood pressure. It's not good for the body. What we're doing here is that we're just normalizing your hormones. And when we do that, when we drop insulin and we drop aldosterone, all that simply does is allow your kidneys to flush out excess salt and excess water. What does that lead to? That leads to lower, that leads to normotension, that leads to lower blood pressure, that leads to overall health. So yes, it's a good thing that you're losing a lot of water because excess water is actually bad for you. Reason number 3, it's too hard. They believe it's too hard because for some people, it's very, very easy to gain weight. Like I said, if you have flipped your metabolic switch into weight gain, then it really becomes easy for the body to put on weight because the body was designed to put on fat in response to evolutionary period in our time when there were very, very long winters and there were famines. We had to be able to store large amounts of body fat quickly in order to survive summers or famines. But the human body is also hardwired to drop excess body fat once winter or the famine was over. Why? Because it doesn't serve you any evolutionary purpose to carry around excess weight when you're running from predators and there's already food to hunt. You need to chase them or you need to chase prey and get away from predators. You need to lose the body fat very, very quickly. So a lot of people have it in their heads that if they can gain weight very quickly, then the opposite must be true. It must be very hard to lose weight. And the way they think about it is like rolling a ball, medicine ball maybe downhill. That if you're trying to gain weight, all you need to do is nudge the medicine ball and you will let gravity take care of the rest. And so if this is the case for weight gain, then weight loss must be the opposite. You have to push the ball up. You're going to be fighting against gravity. But the way I want you to think about this is this. It is just like rolling the same medicine ball in a very flat surface. It's just as easy to roll it one way as it is to roll it the other way. All you need to do is switch from fat storage to fat burning. It is not hard at all. So, reason number 4, it's too big of a sacrifice. A lot of people think that in order to lose weight, they have to start eating these superfoods, these shakes, these bland these bland artificial preparations, or this shake will help you lose weight, kale is going to help you lose weight, and it's too big of a sacrifice. To be perfectly honest with you, if I had to eat nothing but salad for the rest of my life, I would probably not mind getting fat at all, right? But what I want to say to you is this is not true. And the only reason why this is true is because the modern food industry has hijacked your taste buds in order to make you want artificial foods. What does that mean? Every animal, including the human animal, has been blessed with a system that allows us to detect good nutritious food and avoid toxic poisonous food. It's in our taste buds. The reason why many people find the taste of steak very appealing is because that taste signals for fats and proteins, and you need fats for energy and you need proteins for building blocks. The reason why we like sweet things is that our taste buds tell us that sweet equals energy density. Honey, fruits, for example, some starches, they're sweet, and so they signal for energy for the body. And the same is true for toxins. If you find something bitter, you spit it out because most toxic materials are in fact bitter. If you don't believe me, just go outside your garden and try eating grass. You're going to spit it out in a hurry because it's going to taste really bitter, right? And what the modern food industry has done is they have taken this natural, these senses, and created foods that are hyper palatable. They overwhelm our senses so that now our senses are numb. Whenever we eat foods that are rich in MSG, it tricks our body into signaling for protein. MSG is an additive. There's nothing there. And the same is true for refined sugars and high fructose corn syrup. We're led to believe that these are very dense in energy, and it's true, they're very dense in energy, but not much else. So this is what the modern food industry has done. It has desensitized our taste buds so that when we eat real foods, we don't find them as appealing. And what I want to tell you is once you begin eating real, organic, whole foods packaged in the way nature intended, within a few weeks, you're going to see your senses come back to life. That's why you hear a lot of people in our videos say that after a few days, a few weeks in the program, I lost my hunger pangs, I lost my cravings, because your sense of taste actually begins to normalize. I want to share with you a personal story. There was a time in my life where ice cream was my Achilles heel. If somebody were to offer me ice cream, I would justify to myself, oh, I've been good the whole week, I can eat the ice cream. Because I just simply couldn't resist the sweet taste, if truth be told, especially with strawberry ice cream. But after I've been able to wean myself away from these processed foods, now whenever there are parties or get-togethers and somebody offers me ice cream, just for kicks, I would take a taste just to reinforce that I don't like it anymore. As a matter of fact, whenever I would take that first bite, it would be too sweet. For some weird reason, what I found so appealing years before, I could not tolerate anymore because it was just simply too sweet. So, reason number 5, it's genetic. I was born fat. Everyone in our family was fat. So a lot of people throw this word around, genes, genetic, without really understanding what it is. So your genes are just simply a sequence of chemicals, A, T, C, and G. And they are in the nucleus of the cell. They are essentially your body's blueprint. They are, you can think of them as a recipe book, right? All the ingredients are there. All the recipes are there for everything that can make up your physical body. But what most people don't realize, or what most people have never heard about, is this thing called the epigenome, or epigenetics. What does this mean? Epi means a step above. Genetics, a step above the genes. Your epigenome is, in fact, your cook. So if your genes are the recipes, it is your epigenetics which will determine which of the ingredients will be used and which of the recipes will be made. And your epigenetics is largely under your control. As a matter of fact, scientists believe that 70% of our epigenetic expression is in fact controlled by our environment. And What is your biggest contact with your environment? It is not your senses, it is not your skin, it is your stomach. Your biggest contact with the outside world is through your mouth into your stomach. I'm going to dwell on that in a separate video, but for now, what I want you to know is that your nutrition, because it controls a lot in the way you interact with your environment, can actually dictate which genes are expressed and which genes aren't. Now, to be fair, there are genes that have been found to lead to propensity for weight gain. One such gene is the FTO gene, right? People with this gene, with a defect in FTO, have been found to be 20-30% more likely to become obese. But again, just because you have this gene does not mean you're going to become obese, because it's still up to your epigenetics, or it's still up to you whether you're going to be activating this gene or whether you're going to be turning it off, right? Now, so to those who believe that they were born fat, I want you to say that this is not true. You were actually raised fat, and there is something that you can do about it, and the time to do it is now. Now, the reason number one is actually not a myth. It is a reason. And the reason why, the number one reason why most people delay or wait until they deem the problem to be insurmountable. The reason why most people delay with a weight loss program is simply because they don't know how, right? Most people don't understand how they gain weight in the first place. When they come to me, they say, oh, I don't understand. I've been eating this way all of my life. Now all of a sudden, I'm just gaining weight. I'm actually eating the same foods. Sometimes I'm even eating less. But I just keep getting fatter and fatter year after year. It must be age. And what I want to tell you is that is actually not the case. But for this video, what I want to share with you is that you don't really need to know how, right? Animals can do it. Cats and dogs can do it. They don't know how. You don't need to know how. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a fat cat or a fat dog? I'm sure you have. That's a rhetorical question. So, yes, we have seen fat cats and fat dogs. And where do we see these fat cats and these fat dogs? We see them in their human homes being fed by their equally fat owners most of the time. Sorry, I don't mean to fat shame. So this leads me to my follow-up question. Have you ever seen a fat stray cat or stray dog? Chances are you haven't. Why? It's not because they have nothing to eat. Human beings throw away so much food that all they really have to do is go through our garbage and there'll be more than enough to eat. It's just that when we leave them alone, these animals, they know which foods are safe to eat. They understand that evolutionarily these are the foods that we were born to eat. I promise you, when they go through your trash, they're not looking for your leftover popcorn or your leftover breakfast cereal. They're going to be looking for the fish head, they're going to be looking for the bones, they're going to be looking for the meat. It is because their senses tell them what they should and should not eat. And the same is true for the human animal. But it's just that the human animal is the only animal that can dramatically alter its environment to such an extent that we can actually create artificial foods. And when we eat artificial foods, we bypass the natural systems that tell us which foods are safe to eat and which foods are not safe to eat. Our taste buds, our satiety mechanisms, our incretin systems, they're all bypassed when we eat artificial foods. So, why it's not hard to lose weight? Again, all you really need to do is to flick a metabolic switch from fat storage to fat burning, then get the hell out of the way. Let nature do the rest, because I promise you that is essentially what will happen. And in the next part of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. So here are 3 easy ways where you can flip the metabolic switch from fat storage to fat burning. Number 1, eat real food. What does this mean? As much as you can, eat only real, whole, organic, pasture-raised, grass-fed, pesticide-free products in the way that nature packaged them. So if you recognize them as food, the less processing, the better. And why is this the case? It is because eating real foods will actually tell your body when it has had enough energy. Eating real foods allow you to activate your incretin system. Let me explain. When you eat, the food goes to your stomach and goes through your small intestine where the food is digested. Now, there are several signaling molecules in the incretin system. When the food passes through, it activates them. So the upper part of your small intestine is the duodenum, and it has chemicals like GLP, GIP, and this signals for the body to start digesting. It releases insulin. And as the food travels down the small intestine towards the end, towards the ileum and the jejunum, these contain satiety signals like CCK and peptide YY. This tells your body to stop eating, but here's the thing. The food has to reach the ileum and the jejunum in order to do that. When you're eating highly processed and refined foods, these foods are mostly absorbed long before they reach the end part of the small intestine. And when that happens, they don't have a chance to activate the satiety signaling. Which is why, if, for example, I give you a tub of ice cream, which is highly processed, you can eat the entire tub, no problem, and probably have room for more. But if I gave you a tub of steak, for example, because it's real food, because it's going to be pushed all the way until the end of your small intestine, by the time the food reaches there, you're done. Eat 1 or 2 steaks and you're done. You're not even going to get through half the tub. Your body's going to be telling you to start vomiting. Your body's going to be telling you to stop eating. And that is the power of eating only real foods. It is only artificial processed foods that bypass this system. And so most people who are overweight, most people who are eating these refined foods, they're always complaining that they're hungry all the time. And this is because this system is actually being bypassed, right? Tip number 1, eat real foods. Tip number 2, listen to your body. Once you begin eating real foods, your body will actually begin to tell you when to start eating. When you're hungry, ghrelin is going to come up. When you're low on energy, and when your body has sensed enough energy, counter-regulatory hormones like leptin, CCK, peptide YY will begin to become elevated so that your body will tell you when to stop. When you are metabolically unhealthy, when you are overweight or obese, oftentimes you break this system. So you're hungry all the time and you forget how it is to listen to your body. Once you start doing this, I want you to pay very, very close attention to what your body is telling you. Sometimes when you experience hunger, this is really often out of habit. When you're eating real foods, it's actually very satiating. You don't need to eat quite so often. But because of habit, because it's 12 o'clock, now it's time for lunch. Because it's 7, now it's time for dinner. Oh, it's 4 o'clock, it's time for my afternoon snack. Your body actually begins to think it's hungry, but this is just out of habit, not out of real hunger. And sometimes hunger can be dehydration, can be disguised as hunger. So the next time you feel hunger pangs and you're eating real foods, try and drinking 1 or 2 glasses of water and then waiting 5-10 minutes. Oftentimes the hunger will just go away because it's more often dehydration. So what I want you to do is to start paying close attention to your body. Don't use food as entertainment, that you're used to eating popcorn when you're watching TV or you're used to snacking when you're reading a book. You're using food as entertainment. I want you to do away with that and start listening to your body. Know when you're really hungry and know when you're full, right? And this might be a bit woo-hoo to some people, but I can assure you this is all science-based. And the third tip that almost no one ever does is go back to nature. What does this mean? I told you that one of the biggest influences to weight gain was your environment, and this is actually true. This is through food, which I already explained to you is your biggest contact with your environment. It is your biggest contact with the outside world. And people often talk about insulin when it comes to weight gain. I talk about this all the time too, because insulin is your fat storage hormone. The higher the insulin is, the more readily you will be storing fat. So in order to lose fat, what we want to do is to drive insulin low. And how does getting back to nature do that? Right, number one, eating the right kinds of foods will lower insulin. There are foods that are not insulinogenic, and most often these are real organic non-processed foods. The opposite is true for processed foods. These are the ones that spike insulin. Now, the second thing is sunshine. What does sunshine have to do with insulin? You need vitamin D in order to remain insulin sensitive. What a lot of people don't realize is that people who are insulin resistant often have very, very low, deficient or low levels of vitamin D. And where do you get vitamin D? You get vitamin D from direct exposure to the sun. So please realize that throughout all of human evolution, the sun has been a part. Nature has been a part of our evolution. And so the farther we go away from nature, the sicker and fatter we become. This is not I am not romanticizing nature. This is not woo-hoo, this is not sentiment, this is actually based on sound science. You know that UVB from sunlight converts your cholesterol into vitamin D3. And vitamin D is a very, very important pro-hormone that is needed to make other hormones in your body. Vitamin D is responsible for over 200 metabolic processes. So you cannot be without vitamin D. You cannot be without sunlight. And last is earthing. Now, a lot of people are going to give me a hard time about earthing. Earthing is simply going out into the earth without shoes on, where you are in direct contact with the earth. Now, this video is not about that. I just want to let you know very, very briefly that your body is an electrical system. Your body is one giant battery. What do you think EKGs measure? What do you think ECGs measure? They measure electrical current in your body. The sodium-potassium pump in your body works by channeling positively charged ions to negatively charged electrons all over your body. That is the sodium-potassium pump. The way you create energy in your body, it is a mechanism, and it's called the electron transport chain. You're actually running protons across the mitochondria surface to generate electrons. And the earth is one giant battery. The earth is charged. The earth is negatively charged. The sky, the ionosphere, is positively charged. I don't have time to get into that in this video. All I want you to know is that the earth has free electrons. And if you are in direct contact with the earth, you absorb those free electrons and they act as antioxidants. They lower insulin. They make you more insulin sensitive. I will do separate videos on that. But what I just want you to take away from all of this is to go back to nature, right? We, as a species, have been so successful at creating an artificial environment. And this artificial environment is costing us dearly. 90% of our lives are spent indoors, away from contact with Mother Earth. And 95% of the foods we are eating are processed, man-made foods. And this is taking a heavy toll on our health. I see this all the time. People are aging prematurely. And whenever I put them back in touch with nature, whenever I put them back to eating real foods, dramatic changes happen. And they can happen for you too. If you are interested in knowing more, you can visit our website. It's www.lumiereskinandspa.com. I have created a program called the 360 Anti-Aging Program, wherein I use nutrition, lifestyle modifications, and cutting-edge lasers in order to slow down or even reverse physical aging. And for those who think I have something against science and technology, that is actually not true. I love science, as you can tell by my talks. It's just that science has to work hand in hand with nature, not against it. It's not supposed to replace nature. Okay? We also have a meal prep program wherein we deliver to your homes every single day foods that are organic, natural raised, pesticide free, and they are made from scratch every single day by a international award-winning chef. And once you begin eating these foods that are delicious and nutritious, you're going to see what it is, what it can do for your body. Unfortunately, 90% of people, 99% of people maybe, will never get to experience this. And if you can, you don't need our program for it. You have my lectures, you have my videos. Go out, see for yourself. But if you want it professionally done, visit us at our website and you can order your meals there. Remember, if you are not aging deliberately, chances are you're not aging well. Until next time, this has been Mike Chan, to your looks and good health.